Do you know that people in the desert don't have boats?
No boats? Then what do they spend their money on?
Hey, what are you guys doing in there?
Working on a boat.
Okay, cool.
Okay, hey, welcome to the shop. We're working on a boat. Hey, today I thought I'd share a quick tip of how to work with this stuff. This is flat duplex and triplex boat cable. 2 conductors and 3 conductors in there. The tip that I would like to share is how to cut this stuff, cut the outer sheath off, exposing the 2 wires underneath without cutting into the conductors. So it takes a little bit of finesse to do it, but it can be done quickly, safely, and neatly, and you don't end up with something that looks like this. Now, something like that, that's not just dangerous, it's just nasty. It just looks bad. So, we're going to cruise over to the workbench, and I'm going to show you how to cut this stuff, get the sheath off, without cutting the conductors inside. Okay, so here we are at our workbench, bird's eye view, and first thing we need to do is gather the stuff we're going to need to cut this wire. So, no, not that. First thing we're going to need is the wire we want to cut. In this case, I have just a piece of flat duplex boat cable, 2 conductors and a sheath. Now we need something to cut this with. I personally like to use something like this. This is just your average folding utility knife with a very sharp blade. Something like this will work also. This, on the other hand, this thing will not do it. This won't cut this wire, this will cut you badly. The rusty blade will let you, give you the chance to test drive that tetanus shot you had how many years ago. This knife is not going to cut it. Yeah, funny. Okay, it won't cut it. So, all right, we have our wire, we have our knife. Now what we want to do first is decide how far back we want to cut the sheath. So I'm going to say right about where my thumb is, right there. And I want to cut that much off. So first thing we do is cut long ways. And if you'll notice in the sheath, there's a little bit of a depression, a little valley there. That is the space between the conductors and the wire. That's what we want to go for. So we take and make an easy cut right along that valley. And then we peel that sheath back away from our conductors. Like that. Now, and we pull, and we pull, and we pull until that sheath begins to roll over on top of itself, a little like that, and forms a nice little cuff. Now, once we get this cuff, we take our utility knife. There again, we just easily, very lightly cut away and get that off of there. Now what we've done by rolling it over is we doubled the thickness of sheath between our knife and our conductors inside. And we've made a nice clean cut, a nice little sheath. We haven't damaged our conductors inside. Very nice. I think that nice cut. Now, triplex wire, exactly the same, only different. Triplex wire is 3 conductors in the sheath, and we do it exactly the same way. But at this time, when we look, we'll see that little depression, the space between the conductors, is on the side a little more, because there's a wire in the middle. So, we take our knife again, very light cut right down one of those depressions, or one of those valleys, left or right, doesn't matter. And then we peel the sheath away. And we expose the conductors underneath. We roll that sheath back. And we pull, and we pull, and we pull until that sheath begins to roll over and form that cuff. And once we've rolled back on top of itself, we can go ahead and lightly run our knife around, pull our sheath away. There. A nice, neat cut, and we haven't cut into the conductors underneath. Okay. All right, so you figured out, showed you how to cut this stuff easily, neatly, without making a mess of the conductors inside. Okay, so that was a kind of a short one. So we're going to do this as a buy one, get one free episode. Share another secret tip with you. Okay, so secret. You know, every once in a while we all have to reach for this stuff. Just your average ubiquitous black electrical tape. But it has one problem. We need it, but it has a problem, and it's awful. It's this. Once you use this black tape, it leaves this goo all over everything in your boat, and it's just nasty. So I'm going to show you a trick how to keep black electrical tape from doing this on your boat. The first thing you do is take this and throw it in the trash can. Go out and get yourself some of this white electrical tape. It doesn't leave goo. So now you know. Wonderful stuff. No more black electrical tape on your boat. Okay, so hey, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. So keep working on your boat.